What's up, guys? Of course, as you can tell by the title, what I'll be doing is breaking down and reviewing the special weapon in Destiny called Praedyth's Revenge. It's a sniper rifle, and it can be only acquired through playing in the Vault of Glass raid. Personally, I received it after beating the Templar on normal, so the good news is you can get it in normal or hard mode raid. It doesn't have to be in just hard mode. For this review, I should give out the disclaimer that I got the rough stats from DestinyDB.com, so they might not be perfect, but logistically speaking, I feel they're adequate enough to give a comprehensive review on strengths and weaknesses. So let's start. The gun itself begins with a 248 base damage and increases to a maximum of 300 once you're completely upgrading the weapon. The element of damage that it comes with is void damage, and that's the truth throughout all Praedyth's Revenge. To upgrade this weapon, you'll need Glimmer, weapon parts, and Ascendant Energy. The other form, like for example Relic Iron, Spirit Bloom, or Helium Coils, might differ, so I don't want to give you a definite there, but in terms of the other three, those three you will need. With regard to the fire rate, it's listed as 37%, which is pretty good for a sniper rifle. It has an impact rating of 9, which is extremely low for a sniper rifle. A range of 73, which is adequate. A stability rating of 83, which is quite good. A reload percent of 71, which is fantastic. And the only real downside besides impact, as you see, is this stat here, which is a magazine size of 4, which is quite low. But as I'll get into, the reload speed's already fast, and it has buffs for it, so it'll sort of negate magazine size as we go. You'll hear more. In terms of crucible damage output, this weapon hits for 1-shot headshots and 2-shot body shots. With regard to the skill tree, you have the option of 3 different scopes. The first one's a mid-zoom scope. The second one is called the ambush scope, which allows for much more agile and quicker aiming, which is my favorite. And the third is a low-zoom, sort of aggressive recon, quote-unquote, scope. Preference is completely subjective here, depending on your playstyle. Choose which one works for you. I choose the second one usually. When we break down the skill tree, the most important perk to me is Firefly, which causes targets to explode on precision kills. This one comes a lot more in handy in PvE, as you might expect, but it's still a nice skill to have. The next 3 basically determine your choice of improved reload speed, weapon draw speed, or ammo capacity. In PvP, I'd recommend the draw speed. In PvE, I'd probably recommend reload speed. Depends, but you could switch it up. The keystone perk is Feeding Frenzy, which allows for kills to increase reload speed even further. The remaining perk is called Oracle Disruptor, which allows for, as you might expect, increased damage to oracles in the Vault of Glass, and the remaining 5 perks are damage upgrades. With regard to my overall impressions of this weapon, I believe it's a very, very good but not elite top-tier option, and the reason for that, I'll break down the good first. The amazing reload speed, the exploding targets on critical hits taking down mobs in PvE, the void damage, the quick fire rate of 37%, stability rating of 83, and buff damage to oracles make it an extremely intriguing option in both PvE and PvP. What doesn't to me is the fact that many other sniper rifles, especially since the Icebreaker is so prevalent if you bought it off Xur, outclass it in terms of damage or impact, which is damage per shot, which makes it a better option, I'd say, for larger bosses. And the impact, because, well, like I said, it's just 9%. Additionally, the magazine size is quite small, so until you get those reload speed buffs, you're going to be dealing with reloading an awful lot. Overall, though, I'd say it's a perfectly capable sniper rifle that has a potential to be really great, especially in PvP or in the Crucible. The small magazine size hurts a bit, but the ultra quick reload sort of makes up for that a bit. The high stability and fast fire rate, like I said, make it an intriguing, aggressive recon, quote-unquote, weapon in PvP. You can counter it a bit, of course, like most sniper rifles, by staying on the perimeters of maps, and staying far back enough in PvE means that enemies can't even attack you, so you can make up for its deficits here. Overall, I'd say it's a top 3 option, but there are sniper rifles that beat it, so just because it's a raid gun doesn't mean it's the best option. But that's my review. Have a good one.